Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Hall County Sports Television. I'm your host, Gary Glenn. Well, the regular seasons start to wind down in a number of sports, including baseball. In fact, this is the last week of the regular season as teams jockey for positions in the playoffs or to battle to even get into the postseason. And Region 8-5A has been very tight this year. Last week, Gainesville beat Lanier 3-1. Harrison Stiles pitched extremely well, carrying a no-hitter in the sixth inning before settling for a four-hit performance. Jonathan Geddes struck out the last two batters to get the save. Caleb Whittington had a two-run homer, and Geddes had a solo shot. Flower Branch committed a couple of very costly errors in the top of the seventh and wound up giving up the tying and winning runs in a 4-3 loss to Winder Barrow. Errors plagued the Branch again in a 3-0 loss to Gainesville in the rain. Mikey Gonzalez had his curveball working for the Red Elephants for 6 innings before giving way to Geddes, who picked up the save. Gonzalez had picked up 3 saves, but it was his first varsity start. And Gonzalez also scored the first run in that one. The Branch lost despite out-hitting the Red Elephants 5-4 and turning 4 double plays. The two teams met in a rematch this past Monday, and Hall County Sports was there. At Ivy Watson Field, where the Gainesville Red Elephants have taken a big 10-0 win over Flowery Branch in their quest to keep alive their chances at a possible region championship in baseball in Region 8-5A, and in doing so dealt a huge blow to any hopes by Flowery Branch. The Branch only managed to get 1 hit on the day. They also committed 2 errors. For Gainesville was 10 runs on 8 hits, and they also committed 2 errors. And the game was called at the end of the 6th inning, actually before the 6th inning ever ended, because the mercy rule kicked in at that time. 10-0 the final. The Branch drops to 12-9 on the year and 7-8 in Region 8-5A. Gainesville at 18-5 and 13-3 overall. Jonathan Geddes picked up the win on the hill. He is now 7-2 on the year and also has 3 saves and an ERA below 1. He also helped himself out with a single and a solo home run, but the big blow came in the first inning, a grand slam by Anthony Carrera for a 4-0 lead. Michael Curry later had a solo home run, and that one came in the second inning, and that time 5-0 Gainesville, and the Red Elephants never looked back. 10 runs on 8 hits and committing 2 errors, and the final once again 10-0. After the game, we had a chance to talk to Jeremy Kemp, the coach for the Red Elephants, as well as Anthony Carrera and the winning pitcher, Jonathan Geddes.
We've got to keep winning, put pressure on Loganville. Maybe they'll slip up. They got a 1-game lead over us, and they got Salem, and Salem's playing as good as anybody, so if we can keep the pressure on them, I feel pretty good about our chances of winning the region.
Jonathan with a good game on the mound at the plate again.
Yeah, he was. He did a great job. We wanted to get him out going in that last inning, but didn't take him out because he still had that no-hitter going. He threw great. Still not his best game, but he threw well. He threw well, especially with a big lead. You kind of lose focus. Got to battle that. You know, we had the long first inning. He had to deal with that. So he did a good job. Did a great job.
And the bats seem to be coming alive here, and that's a good time for that to happen.
That's always a great time around playoffs for your bats to come alive. We'll see. I mean, we still got a lot of things we got to clean up, but guys did a pretty good job putting the ball in play. That was a big Anthony Carrera hitting the home run in the first inning, got us going. Grand slam. That was big, and you know, guys are hitting those home runs today with the wind blowing in. That was pretty stiff breeze blowing in, so they hit those balls good.
What's it been like having to play around all this stuff that's been happening in the spring with all the weather things?
It's been absolutely terrible. It is, you know, and me and Scott talked before the game about the field conditions, and you know, this year we played in worse field conditions than I ever remember playing baseball, even when I played way back a long time ago. I've never seen it like it's been. Right field is in awful shape right now. So, and, you know, guys just have to deal with it. That's what I told our guys. You just got to overcome the, you know, slippery field. Take a couple extra steps. Don't make any sudden stops. You know, and you teach them bad habits. Glide under fly balls over their head instead of trying to get back behind it and come back forward. You don't do that. So you kind of have to reteach everything about how to play a fly ball out there and right.
So far, so good here.
Yeah, Brandon Sewell did a great job defensively. He's done a great job out there, and I'm proud of him for dealing with that because that was really rough out there.
All right, Anthony, first inning grand slam. That's got to be a big boost for your team and kind of demoralizing for the other team. What did you see when you hit it out?
Well, I mean, I didn't know if for sure it was going out. I started jogging, and then I looked at the center field. I was like, and he tried to rob it, and I was kind of scared. I was nervous it wasn't going to go out.
What kind of pitch was it?
Fastball, inside, high and in.
Turned on it pretty good.
Yeah, it was a pretty good pitch. I mean, and then he tried a couple of bats. He stayed outside on me, so, yeah.
But that's a huge boost for your team right off the bat. I mean, 4-0 lead, boom, just like that.
Yeah, coach was telling me, drive the runners in. I was like, okay, find my way on, but I guess I hit a grand slam.
Yeah, this is a big win, too.
Yeah, it's a really big win. I was expecting for Jonathan Hughes to pitch. I was expecting for him to throw, but he didn't throw, so.
But now you guys are sort of in control of things, but you got to maybe depend on some other folks, too, huh?
Yeah, not everybody's hot like everybody should be. Last season it was pretty good, but we just got to need to let everybody get all their bats hot together, and it'll be great.
All right, Jonathan, 7th win of the year with 3 saves. Pretty good year going for you on the mound. How'd you feel today?
I mean, I'm kind of sick right now, so I just went out there and did what I usually do.
How does it feel when you help yourself out?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just go out there and pitch. I don't worry about hitting or anything.
What's the attitude on the team right now?
That's good. Our chemistry's getting better.
It's a good time of the year for that to happen.
Yeah, playoffs coming up. That's what we need.
Well, what's your attitude as you head toward the last week of the regular season here?
I feel pretty good going in. We're on a three-game win streak, I think, something like that. And we're just going to keep going, keep moving forward.
In other baseball, North Hall got its 4th straight win and its 10th Region 8-4A win as Aaron Miles and Drew Atha combined on a 4-hitter to lead the Trojans to a 6-2 win over Chesterton. Access WDUN reports Miles went 3 2/3 innings, allowing those 4 hits and an earned run while striking out 3 to get the win. Atha went the final 3 1/3 innings, giving up no hits and striking out 3 to earn the save. The North Hall offense touched Chesterton, pitching for 10 hits, led by 3 from Brock Wingo, who also drove in 1 run and scored another. Fowler, Brooks, and Atha each had a couple of hits. Tabor Mongero, Lincoln Hewitt, and Matthew Cox added a hit each for the Trojans. East Hall rallied to score in an extra inning to edge Dawson County 7-6 and clinch the Vikings' first playoff berth since 2003. Jack Hagwood had a hustling 2-run double and came around to score himself when Jesse Cooper laid down a bunt down the third base side and the pitcher's throw was wide. He came on in. It was a 7-5 lead. Dawson scored 1 run in the bottom of the 8th but could get no closer. Final 7-6 Vikings. Eli Stewart went the final 2 innings in relief of Jonah Crocker to get the win. Hagwood, Jeremy Walls, and Cole Smith all had 2 hits for the Vikings. And we dropped by East Hall earlier this week to talk to Viking boss Wesley Crow.
Wes, first of all, talk to me a little bit about the season. This is, what did you think about the season going into it? Did you know you felt pretty good about having a good squad coming back?
Yeah, we thought we had a good team. We thought that we had some strengths with our pitching staff, which has turned out to be our biggest strength. We've just kind of talked about finding a way to get in and fight through. We played a tough non-region schedule and then just had a few bumps in the road early in our region schedule with some tight 1-run losses, and that kind of gave them some confidence that we could compete. So we thought going in that we had a chance.
Well, that's so much a part of athletics, isn't it? Right up here.
Oh, so
confidence
much.
And all that kind of stuff, especially when you get tight in those 1-run games.
Absolutely. So we've been in about a tight game every time we've played almost. Even losses or wins, they've all been tight. So that makes them fun too.
Well, I've seen you, as you know, several times this year, and I sometimes when you say this term, it's kind of a backhanded compliment, but I mean it the best possible. You're a scrappy team. You get in and you scrap and you fight and you claw about everything you get.
Well, yeah, and the clinching game with Dawson was kind of a determination that we were up. They hit a 3-run home run to go up. We come back and tie it and find a way to win it in extra innings. That's just kind of how we've done things. We haven't been way above anybody or way below anybody. It's just been those really, really unique style games. They've been fun.
What's it going to take to make a deep run in the postseason, Wes, with you guys?
For us, just be consistent. We keep doing what we've been doing. We've been doing well pitching, getting timely hits, and been able to, scrap, like you said, find a way to win. I think if we can carry some good momentum in, we'll be fine.
Who's been providing the leadership for you?
Jack Hadwood's been huge for us. He's had 1 year that's almost special for a high schooler. He's hitting 480.
Wow.
Just in case of the Dawson game the other night, he had the game time run scored on a bunt. He also had the game-winning double. He's been Mr. Clutch all year. And then with guys like Jonah Crocker and Eli Stewart on the mound, and then some kind of unsung heroes like the Jesse Coopers and the Hunter Stranges and Jeremy Walls guys that just produce kind of consistently over time. Those little guys don't always get the notoriety, but they're just as big in those moments as well.
And you never know who's going to come up with that timely hit or lay down that squeeze bunt or somebody that's going to push you over the top.
Absolutely.
In a one-run game.
Absolutely, because it was Eli against West Hall. Jesse put the bunt down that ended up getting that. Jack had it. You know, it's been a different guy. So, you know, Jeremy had a big hit against Lumpkin earlier in the year that got us a chance to win that game. So we've kind of had a collective group, not just one guy. You know, but Jack's having a special year, but everybody else is having huge contributions.
Well, it is a baseball team.
It is, absolutely. So you can't do it without 9. So we've been good.
Wes, thank you for your time. Good luck to the Vikings the rest of the way, okay?
In other baseball news, Chesterton's Caleb Jamison signed his national letter of intent to play college baseball at NCAA Division II Albany State University. Caleb has been a 3-year varsity baseball letterman at Chesterton, during which he's been a 3-year starter, and he won the team's 2013 Golden Glove and 2014 Cy Young Awards. Back to the soccer pitch when we return.
You've decided it's time to get in shape. Now let Falcon Parkway Fitness in Flowery Branch help you achieve your goal. Open since 2000, Falcon Parkway Fitness features free weights, exercise machines, group fitness classes, as well as personal training in a fun family environment with childcare, lockers, showers, and 24-hour access. Come by for a free consultation with a certified personal trainer. And just next door, check out Optimum Body Care Day Spa with massage, facials, and waxing, or K. Michael Salon for hair and nail care. Falcon Parkway Fitness is your hometown family gym, located in Flowery Branch, right behind the public shopping center.
We're back. I'm Gary Glenn. This is Hall County Sports Soccer, the subject for this particular segment. And our feature team of the week last week, West Hall's boys, won that 7 AAA showdown with East Hall. We talked about it on last week's show. It was a steady rain, and it was 2-0 in favor of West Hall. The win gave the Spartans their second region title in 3 years. Simon Cobian gave West Hall a 1-0 lead before Richie Castrita wove his way through the Viking defense to pass to Rodolfo Ellerman, who scored that insurance goal. After the match, Cobian talked with David Thackham of the Gainesville Times.
With this being the type of game that decides region, that's got to put on a good bit more pressure to compete against these boys who were not a tough out, East Hall.
I mean, East Hall gave us a really good challenge. They got us prepared for what's next. After this, there's no more losing. You win or you go home. That's how it's going to be. We have to keep running, keep practicing, just keep getting better. I mean, there's probably tougher competitors, or if not, that's probably the toughest we're going to get. But we're just going to go as far as we can.
In that one, the Spartan defense held high, scoring Leo Toledo of East Hall to 0 on the night. Toledo had just scored 7 goals in the Vikings' 11-2 rout of Madison County, but against West Hall, he could not tally. West Hall goalie Cesar Villa had 4 saves in the shutout. And afterwards, West Hall coach Tim Gale met with the media, including Morgan Lee of Access WDN.
Claiming a region title, always a big deal.
It's huge. Yeah. It's huge. You got away from us last year a little bit, and we played some good soccer. But I think tonight the boys wanted it enough. We fought it hard enough, and a good team. They possessed the ball beautifully against us. We were struggling to do that, so we had to switch up a little bit some things we were doing just to keep up with what they're doing in the middle. But it's great to have a win. We have a lot of seniors and juniors, and they've worked hard to get to this point and give them a chance to win. And we're just real proud, and we're real excited for them. You know, they deserve it, and I don't know what else to say about that. We feel like we've got a good team, and it's working what we're working. And we do think the subbing is a big point for us. We kept throwing guys out there. We knew if we subbed enough, it'd give us more chances maybe as the game progressed, and maybe late in the first half. We did get a score sometime along that direction. So we have a deep enough team that can contribute, and they've been doing a great job coming off the bench. I mean, we had a guy off the bench score tonight. Right. I mean, you know, so I mean, that's the kind of team we've got. We've got a full team, and they're all playing hard for each other.
Now, earlier on that night, the West Hall girls got a hat trick from Rachel Beaulieu to shut out the Lady Vikings 5-0, and West Hall's girls have also qualified for the playoffs. A hat trick of a hat trick for Flowery Branch. Morgan Wadsworth, Rachel Kahn, and Mara Wheat each scored 3 goals for the Lady Falcons in a 10-1 win over Salem. Madeline McCarthy scored both goals in the Branch's 2-1 win over Loganville. And the Flowery Branch boys won 6-5 on sudden victory penalty kicks over the Red Devils of Loganville after regulation, and 2 overtimes ended scoreless, tied at 0-0. But they won it in penalty kicks. Johnson's girls beat Lakeview Academy 5-3. Kelsey Dumanowski with 2 goals for the Lady Knights. The Knight boys took out the line 7-0 behind a hat trick by Rigo Campa. Johnson then won its second straight Region 8 4A crown in decisive style. The Knights spanked White County 8-0 in Cleveland, led by a hat trick from junior leader Fabian Abarca. Freitas Velasquez also scored twice for the Knights on that night. And it was Gainesville's boys over Jackson County 4-1. Omar Perez led the Red Elephants with a couple of goals, and it was a sweep on the night for the Elephants as the Gainesville girls shut out Jackson County 10-0. Liz Fisher tallied 4 goals and an assist for Gainesville, while Alyssa Turner had a hat trick and 2 goals. Goalie Alondra Wedding with a shutout. The Lady Red Elephants beat Chesterton 2-0 before that, with goals from Fisher and Caroline Knabb. Wedding made 5 saves in goal. And this past Saturday, back to the boys, the Elephant boys had lots of reasons to celebrate as their 2-0 win over Loganville not only wrapped up the 8-5A region title, it was Coach Rick Howard's 250th career win. Dunio Tercios broke the scoring ice with Esteban Bautista adding the insurance goal late in the game. We're going to raise a racket when we return. We're back here on the set of Hall County Sports Television. Gary Glenn along with Rob Bruce, who is the lead pastor at McEver Road United Methodist Church. And Rob just got through with the Lenten series on Easter.
That's right, Gary. Hey, do you know how long Easter lasts?
Like most folks, it's Easter Sunday unless it's a season of some sort.
Well, as a matter of fact, it is a season. It lasts 50 days and is over on Pentecost Sunday, which this year is May 24th. But here at McEver, we worship the risen Savior every Sunday, and we'd like for you to join us if you don't have a home church where you can experience the risen Savior every Sunday.
Rob, that's great. Thank you for dropping by.
All righty, Gary.
Gary Glenn, Hall County Sports and Tennis for this particular segment. It was region tournament time last week. The 8-5A tournament in both boys and girls play came down to Gainesville versus Flowery Branch. The Lady Falcons beat Appalachia and Clark Central 3-0 to get to the title tilt, while GHS took down Loganville and Lanier by those same scores. Now, for the male side, the Gainesville boys beat Cedar Shoals and Clark Central 3-0, while the host Falcons beat Heritage and Appalachia by the same scores. Now, the title matches were a lot tighter as the Flowery Branch girls and Gainesville boys won their first region titles in 2 seasons. Both championship scores 3-2. Peyton Brick in singles and the number 2 doubles team of Kaya Clark and Kylie McGuire won for the Branch, and then Gainesville's number 1 and number 2 singles players Catherine Wright and Haley Franklin won to tie it up. The Lady Falcons then bore down and pulled out a 3-set victory at number 1 dubs when the team of Brianna Bitton and Brooke Kane rallied from a set down to win for themselves and for the team. Now, on the boys' side, the Red Elephants doubles team of Reagan Williams and Edward Belch and Trevor Munn and Ron Thompson won, while Flowery Branch picked up singles wins with Bo Millwood at number 1 and Philip Corin at number 3. Graham McKinnon was the clincher at number 2 singles for Gainesville with a 6-2-7-5 win. The Elephant boys are coached by C.J. Weaver, and we dropped in on him earlier this week.
All right, C.J., first of all, tell me about the season now. Let's talk about the overall season first of all. You guys have had a great season, and we need to tell folks that CJ coaches both the boys and the girls. Took over the girls just this year, been coaching the boys. But tell me about all of that.
Okay, this year, my first year coaching both the boys and the girls. Both teams, I knew that we were going to have a strong team, top to bottom. Our first match for the girls was against Flowery Branch, regular season. Yeah, it was tough. They beat us 4-1, and I knew we had a lot of work to do before we met them again in the region tournament. Guys' side, we played Flowery Branch. The second match of the season, we played Riverside first. So I saw what I had. We beat Flowery Branch's boys 3-2. We lined up well against them. I felt pretty confident about at least 3 matches. I knew we had a really good shot at. All 5 could have, gone our way. So going into the tournament, I felt pretty confident, both boys and the girls.
Yeah. So now tell me through the tournament. Now both boys and girls, you sort of blitzed through the early rounds and beat people 3-0, right?
Yeah, yes, for the guys. Yeah, we were pretty head over heels, a skill level above the first 2 teams. So the girls played Lanier, which during the regular season, Lanier, there's a 3-way tie as far as record goes for the girls. 3 teams were 8-1. Lanier had beaten Flowery Branch had beaten us, and we had beaten Lanier 3-2 in the regular season. So our second match was against Lanier on the girls' side, and I knew that it was going to be a really tough match, but we did. We pulled through 3-0, and I was kind of surprised by that.
But now you knew. Okay, so you got all that out of the way, and you're facing what everybody knows is one of the biggest rivals, not only here in Hall County, but in the region.
Yep.
For Gainesville. So take me through these matches.
Girls, all 5 lines go out. The only match we won the first time around was 3 singles. and it was in the third set tiebreaker. So I'm sure that our girls know that they have to play the best tennis that they can play, or they have no shot. We got up at 1 singles and 2 singles. Catherine Wright 1 singles, Haley Frankham 2 singles. Both of those girls got beat the first time we played against Flowery Branch, and I know at the time of this match they're playing great. And so they come out and they do exactly what I think they're going to do, and they play great. They're up. They both win the first sets like that. 3 singles, Josie Everett had a kind of tough go in the first set, got down 5-1, I think, and Flowery Branch's girl clinched it 6-3, I think, in the first set. 1 doubles was very tight. We won the first set, I think, 6-4. So it's a tight match all the way around. It could go either way.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually they win 2 doubles, like 6-3, 6-3, it's pretty close, and 3 singles. Josie Everett went down like 6-3, 6-2, and we win it 1 and 2 singles.
So you're tied at 2.
2 up, 2 all, and it comes down to 1 doubles, and it's back and forth, back and forth. We lost the second set, I think 6-2. Their girls started playing pretty good. Our girls got a little bit down, I think, in the second set, but started to pick it back up for the third set. It was, I think we were up 3-2 in the third set, and a couple games with a deuce, several adds for us to get up, I think, 5-3. We lost that game to make it 4-all, and we just never could recover after that.
Now the boys, you also wound up 2-all going into the decisive match.
Yeah, 2-all going into the decisive match. We win both doubles. We haven't lost a doubles match in the region. We haven't lost a set in doubles all year in the region.
Wow.
We're strong. Jeffrey Kaiser loses a close match at 1 singles. Jackson Fox loses a pretty close match at 3 singles. Graham McKinnon played 1 singles the first time we played the Flowery Branch. He's playing 2 singles in the finals. Wins the first set, I think 6-2. Flowery Branch guy starts playing, obviously I told Graham before the second set started, this guy's not going to give it to you. So the guy starts playing a little bit better. Graham starts getting a little tight, I think, and I'm telling him between changeovers, calm down, take a few breaths, take your time. Don't rush through points when you start. When you lose a point, you take your time. You win a point, maybe you can go a little bit faster. But it got to 5-all, and I told Graham he's going to win the next 2 games, and we're going to win this thing. And that's what happened.
Yeah. You got to feel pretty good having faced this kind of competition as you get ready to this week. I mean, you guys are you're done with the region, so now you're getting into the state playoffs. I think we got region track and region golf this week, and everybody's getting down to the postseason now. But you got to feel pretty good.
I feel pretty good. Our first round playoff, we'll play Wednesday at 4 at Longwood. We play Riverwood both in the guys and the girls from Region 7, which is arguably the toughest region in the state of Georgia in tennis.
Wow.
So we'll play the 4 seed on the boys' side and the 3 seed on the girls' side, and it's going to be a tough match.
How has it been for you personally, coaching boys and girls this year? Has it been tougher than you thought it would be?
It was different. I knew the guys. I kind of know where they're coming from. I kind of know how their emotions go, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I can understand what they're thinking, what they need to hear to make them do better on the court. Girls, I kind of had a learning, from the first match to the last match, I kind of figured out what I needed to say and what I didn't need to say.
Mm-hmm.
I always try to stay positive to the boys. Sometimes I have to get mad at them. Girls, I don't think getting mad at them and, telling them what they're doing wrong helps. You got to stay positive with them and just tell them, only harp on the things that they're doing right at that time.
Interesting. So, what does it take this time of year to make a deep run into the postseason?
I'm going to have every player on my team focus and fight for every point. No letdowns, and stay positive. When things start going wrong, you've got to stay positive. In tennis, if you get down on yourself and you'll start thinking about the negative things that have happened, it affects your game. It usually doesn't turn out good.
CJ, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Glenn.
Appreciate it, and good luck to the Red Elephants in the state tournament.
Thank you.
Elsewhere on the court, the North Hall boys won their second straight region tennis title. After being tops in 7 AAA a year ago, the Trojans took the 8-4A title this time with a 3-1 win over North Oconee. Jackson Davis and Dalton Patterson won in singles, while Matt Booth and partner Paxton Gillespie took a doubles win for North Hall. The Trojans had beaten White County and Madison County 3-love to get to the championship match. Johnson's girls beat Madison County 3-2 at that tournament to qualify for state, while Riverside finished in second place in Region 8AA after a 3-0 win against Washington Wilkes and a 3-2 loss to Raven County. Among the winners for the Eagles, Ryan Diamond and Sifo Koza. And Chesterton's boys advanced to the Class 4A state tournament with a 3-2 upset win over Buford. Tyler Burgess and Austin Passmore took singles wins for Chesterton, and Hunter Creamer, Logan Grunenfeller won a third set tiebreaker at number 1 doubles to get the team victory. The Lady War Eagles were sent home 3-love by North Oconee. Back to wrap it up with some news from basketball and football when we come back.
Your one-stop spot for complete auto repair is the Auto Works shop on Sprout Springs Road. On everything from oil changes to brakes, new and used tires and tune-ups, even the big jobs like transmissions. The specialists at the Auto Works can have you up and running just like that. You talk about value. The Auto Works will not be undersold on used tires or any locally priced repair job. Ask about special discounts for students and teachers with your ID. That's the Auto Works at 6671 Spout Springs Road, just past Flowery Branch High and Spout Springs Elementary Schools. Phone 770-967-1732. We start off this week's wrap-up with some news from basketball. Flowery Branch going to a familiar name to replace their retiring girls basketball coach, Hazel Hall. Now, the new woman in charge is Flowery Branch grad and South Carolina alumnus Courtney Newton. Now, she just spent her first year as a head coach at Lexington High in South Carolina this past season. Under her, those Lady Wildcats doubled up their win total from 7 to 14 wins behind an all-state performer by the name of Destiny Langford. Now, Courtney will inherit a Flowery Branch team that went 21-6 with no seniors this past season. And she told me just this past Saturday morning that she was really looking forward to coming home, and we hope to have her here on this show very soon. Despite a bunch of injuries, Newton started 30 of 32 games and wound up a captain for South Carolina during her senior campaign in 2011 and 2012 when the Gamecocks reached the Sweet 16. That was the first of 4 consecutive 25-win seasons that saw South Carolina make the Final Four this particular season. Now, also on the basketball front, Johnson's Ty Cockfield has picked his next stop. He will sign on with Stetson University. He hopes this stop with the Hatters will propel him on to the NBA eventually. Some interesting news came out of the Georgia High School Association last week. They're going back to playing the basketball state quarterfinal playoffs at neutral sites and limiting the amount of full contact drills for football. We hope to explore that football thing here coming up very shortly. Speaking of football, congratulations to former Gainesville and former Alabama quarterback Blake Sims. Blake was honored with his inclusion on the famous Alabama Walk of Fame. In his only full season as the Tide quarterback, he led them to the Final Four before losing to eventual champion Ohio State. He was 252 of 391. That's about 64.5% passing for 3,487 yards with 28 touchdowns and only 10 interceptions. He hopes to get a crack at the NFL after draft day is coming up in May. And finally, the Elite Junior Showcase Classic, billed as an opportunity for high school football players to display their abilities for assembled recruiting services from throughout the Southeast, will hold a session this coming Sunday, April 26th at City Park in Gainesville. Showcase Classic is available for current freshmen, that's the class of 2018, through current juniors, the class of 2016. Now, the results of athletes' performances will be made available to college coaches from 160-plus programs. There's a registration fee of $60. Athletes can register online at www.scoreatl.com. That's again www.scoreatl.com, and you click on the Elite Classic Showcase registration. Now, on-site registration will also be made available from 1 to 2 on the day of the event. Again, that's this coming Sunday at City Park. And you'll be tested if you're interested, all you guys out there, in stuff like the 40-yard dash, long jump, agility drills, and so forth. Good luck to you. That's our show for this week. I'm Gary Glenn, Hall County Sports. County Sports is also brought to you in part by Green Ford on Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. Check out the latest deals, and remember, when you go Green Ford. By Turner Wood & Smith, serving the insurance needs of our area for over 100 years. And by McKellar Road United Methodist Church on McKellar Road in Oakwood. Loving Christ, loving people, and helping people love Christ.